download our Revise It Right revision app for hundreds of videos, quizzes, exam questions, tutor support and so much more. This video is on the mole and equations. Now, in your exam, you may be asked to use moles to calculate different masses in reactions. So let me take you through a couple of examples so you can see what I mean by this. So here we go. So how much lithium was used if 87 grams of lithium fluoride is produced? Okay, so really this type of question always leads itself from how much of this is produced from this amount of reactants, or how much of this product will you get with this amount of reactants. That's really the two ways they can ask this a question. Or how much of this do you need to react with this, for example. So it's all about masses and seeing how much of one mass will give you or you need to react with another mass. Okay, so I'm going to take you through this and what we do, and my really easy way to always get full marks on these questions, because they are usually sort of like 5-mark questions. So it's a really good idea to learn this. Okay, so how much lithium was used if 87 grams of lithium fluoride is produced? So the first thing we need to do in this equation is to write a balanced equation. Okay, so we've got the equation above. We've got lithium plus fluorine gives lithium fluoride. However, we can very quickly see that that is not balanced. They may give you a balanced equation, but do double check. And if it's not balanced, you will have to balance it. So if we got 2 fluorine on the left, we need 2 on the right, which gives you 2 lithium. Now, if you don't know what I did there, please go back and watch the balancing equation video, as it's really helpful. You need to know how to balance equations. Right, so once you've balanced the equation, you then need to highlight within the question what 2 molecules or 2 compounds you are focusing on. So, for example, how much lithium was used. So what we're going to do is we're going to highlight lithium to show that we're focusing on that in this question. If 87 grams of lithium fluoride is produced. So then we're going to underline lithium fluoride. So we do not need to worry about our fluorine in this question. We only need to worry about lithium and lithium fluoride. Then what I want you to do is underneath, I want you to write 2 things. You're going to write mass, so just to the left of them, and you're going to write the MR. Okay, now mass is what we're trying to work out, but they do give you one of the masses. So here, 87 grams of lithium fluoride. So what I want you to do is I want you to write 87 underneath lithium fluoride next to where you've written mass. And the lithium underneath that, I want you to put a question mark to show that's the mass you're trying to work out. Then the MRs. Now, they won't give you the MRs in the question, but we've learnt how to calculate MR, and it's very easy to do so. So if you don't know how to calculate MR, then please go back and watch the relative formula mass video, because that, again, that's really important. So we've got lithium fluoride, which is Li and F, so lithium and fluorine. So lithium has a mass of 7, and fluorine has a mass of 19. Okay, so lithium fluoride has a mass, therefore, if we add them together, of 26. Now, there are 2 lots of these, so we do need to times that by 2, which gives you 52. So the MR of 2 lithium fluoride is 52. So what I want you to do is write 52 underneath where you've written 87. Then we can work out the MR of lithium. So again, lithium has an MR of 7, but there is 2 of those, as we can see in the equation. So we need to times that by 2 to get 14. So next to lithium, I want you to write 14. Now is the easy bit, so do follow along with what I'm doing. All we have to do to find out the mass of lithium is do 87, so the mass of what we know, which is 87, divided by its MR, so it's 52. Okay, so 87, which is the mass that we know, the grams that we know in the question, divided by the MR, which is 52, and we times that by the MR of the mass that we're trying to find out. So we've worked out the lithium MR to be 14, and this, you put this into the calculator, so it would be 87 divided by 52 times by 14, and our answer is 23.4 grams. Okay, what that means is that 23 0.4 grams of lithium was used to make 87 grams of lithium fluoride. Okay, that's what that means. So 87 grams of lithium fluoride can be produced if we have 23.4 grams of lithium. Okay, now I'm going to do one more just in case you didn't follow along with that explanation. Remember to download our Revise It Right revision app, watch over 700 videos, answer 4,000 plus quiz questions, over 1,000 flashcards, 1,000 exam questions, worksheets, forums, and get help from qualified teachers and so much more. The link is in the description. So here's another question. So 1.3 kilograms of aluminium is used. How much aluminium chloride is produced? Right, so first things first, we need to balance the equation. Now remember, you may get a balanced equation in your exam, but you do have to double check. Okay, so here we are, write it underneath. So Al plus Cl2 equals aluminium chloride. Now on the right we have 3, so we're going to probably put a 2 there, and we're going to put a 3 there, and therefore we're going to need to put a 4 there. Again, don't know what I just did, please do watch that balance and equation video. I do go into much more detail there. So this is now a balanced equation. So first things first, we need to underline the 2 atoms, molecules, compounds, whatever that we are looking at. So 1.3 kilograms of aluminium. So that's here. How much aluminium chloride is produced? Aluminium chloride is here. So we're looking at aluminium and aluminium chloride. Then we're going to write mass and MR to our left of those, like we did last time. And then we're going to write the mass of what we know. So 1.3 kilograms of aluminium underneath that. And then a question mark next to what we're trying to work out. So the question mark under aluminium chloride. Then we need to work out our MRs of the 2 things we're trying to look for. So aluminium. So we look on the periodic table. Aluminium has a mass of 27. But there are 4 aluminium. So we do need to times that 27 by 4. So you get out your calculator and you do 27 times 4. And you should get to 108. So 4Al has an MR of 108. And then you need to work out the MR of the other one, so in this case aluminium chloride. So we've got Al2, which has a, Al has a mass of 27, so Al2 has a mass of 54, and Cl3, now if we look on our periodic table, chlorine has a mass of 35.5, so we times that by 3 to make 106.5, so 106.5. However, there's 2 lots of aluminium chloride. So to find 1 aluminium chloride, we need to add 54 and 106.5 together, which gives you 160.5. However, there are 2 lots of aluminium chloride, so we do need to times that number by 2. Okay, so 160.5 times 2, and you get 321. So the MR of 2 aluminium chloride is 321. Then you'll remember, this is the easy bit, but you do have to follow along. Make sure you get it right. The mass of the one you know, so 1.3 divided by its MR, 108, times by the MR of the one you're trying to work out the mass for. So 321. And all you have to do is put that in a calculator and it will give you your answer. So 1.3 divided by 108, then you times that number by 321 and you get 3.87 if you round it up. Now this is given to us in kilograms, therefore this will be kilograms as well. So the answer is 3.87 kilograms. So if we had 1.3 kilograms of aluminium, we could make 3.87 kilograms of aluminium chloride. What I would now like you to have a go at is asking these questions to really understand if you've got what I've just gone through here or not. Okay, so pause the video now. Okay, so let's go through the answers then. So number 1, you should have gotten this as your balancing equation. So 2 calcium plus oxygen gives 2 calcium oxide. The mass of oxygen, that it gave you was 0.82, and the MR of oxygen was 32, so O2 32. We put a question mark underneath our calcium oxide because that's what we're trying to work out, and our MR of 2 calcium oxide is 112. So you should have done 0.82 divided by 32 times by 112, and that would have given you 2.87 grams as your answer. Question number 2. Okay, we should have written, so it's 21 grams of oxygen that it's given, and 5O2 is 160. The MR of 5O2 is 160. So O2 obviously has an MR of 32. You need to times that by 5 to get 5O2, so that should be 160. And then we're going to put a question mark next to our product, and that, if you add it all together, you should have got an MR of 284. Okay, so you should have done 21 divided by 160 times by 284, and you would have got your answer as 37.275 grams for that one. And finally, the water. So you were given 132 grams of water, so you should have written that underneath water. 2H2O has an MR of 36. And then you'll put a question mark underneath hydrogen because that's what you're trying to work out. H2 has an MR of 2. So your equation should have been 132 divided by 36 and then times by 2. And that would have given you 7.33 grams. Okay, so I hope you got those correct and you really understand this topic. You can now move on to the quiz and on to the exam questions. Now, if you didn't get those correct, then you can certainly contact one of our tutors who will be happy to help.